What's up everybody, Smyers here. Today I want to show you how to make the lead to On My Knees by Rüfüs de Soul. Now I know that this is not a new song, but it's a very popular song and I listened to the track recently and thought it was a really cool lead, so I figured I'd just show you how to make it. So the lead is like this stabby, saw wavy sound. These are the notes. I am going to be making this sound in Serum, and the default wavetable in Serum is just going to be your like a saw wave style. So this is just the melody. So pretty simple stab sounds, but there's like a really long release on each of these notes. So let's go into Serum and put the voicing onto mono because we're going to be creating a just like a lead sound. I generally just do this if I'm only playing one note at a time. And I can extend out my release. So I'm going to make my release really long. So almost like a second and a half. So let's just play some notes on my keyboard, because we almost want those notes to fill in the empty space, like that release to fill in the empty space in between each of the notes that hit for the melody. Then I'm just going to reduce the sustain a tiny bit and shape up this curve. Now I'm going to turn on the sub and add on a square wave, so you can select the type of wavetable that you want, and I'm going to reduce this a tiny bit. So let's check this out. And I'm going to reduce this -2 octave, and you can just lower the notes in your MIDI. I like just reducing the octaves in Serum instead, because then I can just play all the notes on my little keyboard without having to like change the octave on my keyboard. So after that, let's add on some noise. I'm going to go into the analog and let's do the bright white noise, and let's play this now. I can actually raise up that level to about 35%. And we'll go to the oscillator B. For oscillator B, let's go ahead and do a basic shape. So we'll do a square wave as well. And take this down to -1 octave. And let's go ahead and adjust the levels on both of these oscillators. So for oscillator A, let's raise this one up. And then for oscillator B, I think I'm just going to take this down a tiny bit, or maybe we'll just put it at like 70%. So pretty cool sound so far. What I want to do now is add on some PWM to the oscillator B and adjust this to change up the shape of my pulse wave. So this is pulse width modulation. Let's go ahead and put this up to like 60%. I don't know why it like goes in the reverse, like why this is 0 and why this is 100. So this is 60% here. So now I want to add some width into this sound. I'm going to go back to my oscillator A and add in 8 voices of unison to make it a bit wide sounding. And then I'm just going to take it down this detune. Let's put it at like 20. That's all that I'm going to do for the oscillator section. Let's go into the effects now. I just added on some compression. Then I've got this stomp box distortion. The drive is at 60% and the mix is at 25%. I'm going to cut off a lot of that low end just because that's how it sounds in the track. It doesn't sound like it has a lot of low end. If you are going to be using this sound and filling up more of the track than Rüfüs de Soul does in their track, then don't cut off the low end this much, because it's a pretty, let's see, around like 300 hertz. And then I'm also like dipping around 2 kilohertz or so. So it does take down the level a lot and a lot of the impact, but when I play it with the track in the bass, you'll hear why I did this. And then we just add on some reverb, so some hall reverb. Just to fill out that decay of the release a bit more. So let's just go and play this now with like the kick and some bass. So there you have it. That is the lead. So then you can go in here, save this as a preset. You can go into these macro knobs and, like I was saying, possibly maybe do one where you're adjusting this frequency. So then if you do want to add in the bass, you could control adding in the bass. So you could do something like a low cut. And then maybe you could also do a macro knob for controlling this release. So let's say you want it to be a bit tighter. And you could even go in and add in a filter. So I could do something like assigning this envelope 1 to a cutoff filter. And let's go ahead and do macro to the mix. And we'll do that macro like this. So I turn up the macro knob. We add in like a really cool filter. So that's some ways you can create some variations on the sound to get something more unique for your song. If you do just want to download this preset for free, I'll put a link down below. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a like, and also please subscribe to my channel if you are not yet subscribed. And if you'd like to check out any of my Serum preset packs, head on over to store.samsmyers.com.